Good evening, everybody. Hope you are all well. Hope you've had a lovely weekend and a lovely start to the week. The golf has already started. Oh, it's a super exciting week, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it is, yeah, definitely.
Lots and lots going on.
Golf has already started. One golf's already nearly finished.
Yeah, they're nearly finished in Africa. Yeah, some people's weeks are nearly all over in America, and here we are. Good. So yes, thank you as always to everybody that's already in the chat. There's lots of stuff going on. Obviously a big thank you as always to our Patreons. If you don't know about the Patreon screen, head over to pjlife365.co.uk or Patreon/pjlife365, or just ask us in the comments and we'll tell you more about it. But yeah, thanks to the guys that are supporting the channel, means the world. What have we got coming up on the show tonight?
Sorry, I was just saying Ryan Rosansky says blank screen, but I can see us. I don't know what...
Yeah, the intro video for some reason didn't roll when I scrolled it this today, so I just cut straight for about 2 seconds of blank screen. But, you know, it was never... Well, like, was it ever going to be smooth sailing? Like, no. You know what it is. It wouldn't be us without us. Faultless. We're here, you can hear us all, so there we go. So yeah, what we got coming up then? Ryan, talk us through last week in the Honda Classic, first of all.
What, the massive non-event that was the Honda Classic.
Interesting, wasn't it?
Sorry, I couldn't get excited about it. No, apart from Matt Jones, and, if I'm honest, I didn't see a lot of it. But I think with so many of the big names just obviously taking a week off and whatever, it always seems like it loses its blockbuster, and therefore, I mean, it's great for the other guys though, you know. Matt Jones, I've never ever heard of.
Have you not? Okay.
No, and he's gonna won himself a tournament, and that's, you know, that's what they're all out there to do. So you know, well done to him. By all accounts, it was a pretty tough week though. It wasn't for low scoring, which always pleases me. I have to say, I'm not a fan of the 20 unders and stuff. So
always crazy,
I do like it when they're not ripping a golf course apart. So yeah, I like to think that worked for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, the fantasy went well. For some of us, not so well for others.
Well, the first screen to go through. First screen to go through is our breakdown, Ryan, on my list. So I'm going to put that on the screen now, and you can talk through our breakdown.
Sorry, it's not showing on my screen.
I can talk through it. It's fine.
I mean, it's horrible swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Horrible swings and roundabouts. But it is what it is, and I plumped for Gooch because I thought he was playing nicely, and he came 46th, and everyone else missed the cut.
Yeah.
I did say last week, didn't I? I've picked Kang, and so Kang won't make the cut this week.
Yeah, I fully blame you for the Kang.
So that's my fault for Kang missing the cut.
Mm-hmm.
But Koepka for you, Si.
Yeah.
Not the Koepka you expect.
Not the Koepka you expect, but you got your decent amount of points.
Got a good chunk of points.
I got some points.
You're happy? You just got some points.
Yes. You didn't get no points. Oh, minus points. You had minus, didn't you? You had minus 200 last week. So, net points over the last 2 weeks, 262 for you. Yeah, you got minus 4 missed cuts last week. So.
Oh, I thought you meant this week. I was like, how did I get minus 200 this week?
No.
So your net, you've not done. Yeah, you've recovered some of your losses from last week.
Should we while we're on the subject, let's quickly put our little leaderboard up, just so that just to show it for a second, and then we can take it off again, because we don't really need to talk about it. It's boring. You boys need to catch up. Need to catch up. So everybody leaderboard then from last week. Similar story to normal, isn't it? It's a repeating occurrence, Mr. Lee. Congratulations!
It's insane, isn't it?
Another great week. The boys in the chat are saying that he's banned and who's let him in. Yeah, I can confirm he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about when it comes to picking. He's just one of the luckiest humans on the planet.
Simon, though, it's like a solid second for you, but
Yeah.
and then James Wade coming in
Yeah.
third.
Low scoring week, wasn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
Low scoring week.
It was a pretty low scoring week. It was, you know, other than you and Marcus at the top, it was pretty average scoring with like I said, there was a couple of minuses in there. Glenn sort of gambled a little bit.
Yeah.
For his just one at 100 points on one person, which
Interesting one, that isn't it? Because he only I was thinking about this in the week. The most he could lose was only 50 points, wasn't it? Whereas when you pick 4 people and they miss the cut, you can lose 200 points. So, in a way, interesting decision that. But yeah, good on him.
But if you pick 4 and one misses the cut, but the other 3 make your points, then
Yeah, which is what happened to me, wasn't it?
It has worked before for a couple of people who've gone for the. I think Julian went for Kang at 100 points, and it came out beautifully for him.
Yeah, definitely. He had a big week.
Not to be this week.
Yes, Marcus telling us that he had 4,000 points on Saturday evening, according to his reckoning.
Yeah, just replying to him like he's not helping himself.
Yeah. I don't know what the points were on Friday, but that won't surprise me.
But just
that many.
Just have a look at this next slide of the average points per week. Like,
it's incredible.
1,400 points a week.
My new tactic is still let Marcus pick first, and then just copy
him. Well, that's
averaging 1,472 a week. So he's averaging double.
Yeah.
Julian, who is in second place.
Yes.
So,
and very, very, very impressive. We would be we've done 10 weeks, so our average is quite easy to see what our average would be. Mine would be 900. Ryan, you'd be 700, and Adam would be a bit less than that. So it's very, very impressive. Like, to be 1,500 points average per week. Very, very, very good. So let's put the Honda Classic to bed, because like we said, that was not the greatest event that the tours have ever held, but lovely golf course. Like, the event itself is fantastic. It just didn't, because of the scheduling and because of everything that had been around it before and after and what's to come, just didn't have those marquee names, did it?
Yeah, I think it gets a bit short-changed, really, isn't it? Because you look at what's around it in that Florida swing. If you're going to take a week out, it's going to be that one.
Yeah.
And then obviously with the WGC going to the concession, another one in that Florida swing that's then in and around. So it's harsh, really. It's sort of a very historic event. I think I heard this week that Honda have been sponsoring that event since 1987.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Then get a little bit shafted with the field this year. I'd imagine they'll try and sort of get that back round for one of the sort of long time.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because the problem is that it doesn't have. See, the Arnold Palmer Invitational could be sponsored by MasterCard, could be sponsored by McDonald's. That doesn't matter, does it? It's the Arnold Palmer holds that event. That name takes it, whereas the Honda Classic doesn't have that, and because it's not obviously a playoff event, in its own right, it just doesn't. It's a shame. It's like you say, they're in Florida. It's got to be in that swing, and like you say, just a bit shortchanged. There we go. Anyway,
for the other, you've got to say it's good for the other guys though. Like, they've got a chance of getting some decent FedEx points on.
Definitely.
And ranking points and everything. So it's a great opportunity for
the strength of field will be great. So like even like the world ranking points and everything else, you still get your FedEx entitlement. It'll be a bit lower, but it's one of those. Like you say, it's still
the pace is still the same though for the purse at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
No, well, the purse is quite a lot down on other field, but like it is still what it is. It still counts. You're still getting exemption. Those like Matt Jones is still getting his entrance to the Masters and all the rest of the good stuff that comes with a PGA Tour win. So So yeah, you can only beat who's in front of you. So.
Exactly. Cool. So we're going to kind of gloss over the Kenya Savannah Classic thingy event because it's already had the cut made and they're on the same golf course as we spoke of last week. Education Golf Club, I believe. So let's talk about the PGA Tour then and the match play. That always that hole, isn't it? That long hole where they drive it down across the bridge and it goes across the little walkway and it goes over 400 yards and they'll get very excited about how far the ball goes.
Yeah, they're at Austin Country Club. They're actually playing the 2 nines the opposite way round to what the members would play it. So the short par 4 out the back near the bridge is actually the fourth hole as the membership would play it. But obviously it's in the back 9, so they've switched it to make it a little bit more of a pivotal hole within that today. You've already seen Rory take it on, hole to lay it up. That didn't go quite as well as it could have done. Yeah. But like a great golf course. It escapes me always when it comes back there. Just the drops in elevations from the sides of greens. So like par 3s with like a wall down one edge, and literally just can't miss it right, you can't miss it left or short. There's some superb holes, like some big ravines, like off one side of the fairways and bits. Looks a good, fun golf course. Great golf course.
Yeah, good for match play, isn't it? Yeah, and that iconic bridge, taking you over into Austin, Texas. Yeah, fantastic.
You've got the open waterways there next to that hole as well. So there's often sort of some boats out there with some fairly inebriated people sat on them Saturday afternoon if it's quite warm.
Enjoying themselves, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So last year's winner?
Last year's
was it?
Yeah.
Kevin Kisner.
There wasn't one.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Kisner was
was the last one awarded.
Yeah, last winner of that. He hasn't done us any favours, Kisner, in the last few weeks. He's done really, really well when we haven't picked him, and not so good when we have picked him.
But yeah, it's one of those. Like he played so well. He played Kuchar in the final, and 2 sort of slightly shorter hitters, like a bit more accuracy based, and both of them. But I remember that week that Kisner just played very, very solid.
So solid, wasn't
he? Even lost his first game.
Yeah.
And still went on to win it.
So it can be done, can't it?
There's hope for McIlroy yet.
Yes. I'm just having a quick look through the current matches. Morikawa is 1 up, about to beat JT Poston, 1 up. Billy Horschel's 1 up on Max Home with 1 to play. Casey's 3 down after 14. Hatton's all square with Matt Wallace. That's a good game, isn't it? Garcia's up on...
There's all Europeans in that group, isn't there?
Yeah. Garcia's up on Westwood. 3 up. Victor Perez is losing to Mark Leishman. DJ's 2 up through 11. Just 1 down, yeah. And then obviously we've got the morning matches. Obviously Poulter beating McIlroy, Cameron Smith beating Lanto Griffin, Xander Schauffele. I'm not going to say tying because it didn't tie. It was all square with Andy Sullivan. Scheffler beating Jason Day. Daniel Berger, friend of the show, running as well. Yeah, it's
good half point for Sullivan that.
Yeah, isn't it just? Carlos Ortiz beating Hideki Matsuyama. Bubba and Patrick Reed all square as well. Matty Wolff beating Corey Connors. Justin Thomas losing to Matt Kuchar. Yeah, it's all going on, isn't it? It's all going on. So let's put the betting up, I think, on the screen. And if anyone's got their picks and wants to start putting them in, then let's get going. So I'll pop these.
Go away. Glenn needs to go away.
Why?
There was a small mistake on the spreadsheet, Glenn. Let it go. Okay.
You've only got one job, Harrington.
Oh, God. Small mistake.
Yeah, Robert McIntyre making
2 mistakes in a row. Yes, it was brought to my attention that Adam Scott did actually make the cut and finished relatively high up the leaderboard, and it resulted in Ryan Rosanti going from minus 150 points to actually a positive number. So
that's quite a big mistake, but there we go.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah, whatever Marcus picks as he's going for, good stuff. So yeah, we've got our first page of picks there. I think
he's got first picks in. Ryan, you ready?
Stand by. Who is it?
Kieran Pemberton.
Kieran He hasn't been on for a week or two. Kieran, where's he been?
He's been busy. He's been busy. Tells me he's in his last year of university, so we can forgive him for that.
Well, he can be forgiven. Okay, what?
Okay, Matty Wolf, 25.
Yeah.
Daniel Berger, 25. Webb Simpson, 25. Abraham Answer, 25.
I'm gonna let Kieran can be paused for a second there, Ryan, because we haven't actually explained the scoring for this week yet.
Oh yeah.
So I think the better just had to say that. So obviously there's 64 players playing. Have you got it written down there, Ryan? Do you want to just say it so I don't make it a mistake?
Yeah. So we have 64 players, and obviously there are over 16 groups, and the top player from each group goes into the round of last 16. So you don't get any points. You just get a 0. There's no minus this week. Yeah. Just because there's so many cut. Yeah. So no one's on a minus this week. But because there's so many cut, you get no points if you don't get out of the group.
Yeah.
You get 10% if you get to the last 16. 25% of your potential points if you get to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then obviously then into the semis, it's 40% if you're fourth, 60% if you're third, 80% if you're second, and you get full awarded points if you are first.
Yeah, because they do have a third and fourth playoff, don't they? Of course, in this event, so there is a full top four. So we've got loads of picks in here now. Ryan, Adam should go for it.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Who's
Adzi.
next? Adzi. Yeah, let's go.
Ram 50, Garcia 50.
Love it.
Oh, nice.
Love it. I mean, we say that every week, Adzi, but.
Okay, Richard Hodge.
Oh, yeah, good. I've got a John Rahm thing for after this. Yeah, go, Richard Hodge.
Okay, Webb Simpson 30. Daniel Berger 40. Matt Kuchar 30. Okay, and we've got Glenn Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay, so 25 each. We've got Answer, Cam Smith, Spieth, Rahm.
Nice.
So John Rahm has said, don't bet on him on the Masters. His wife is due.
Oh, yeah,
his baby is due on the sort of 10th or something of April, and he was like, I may turn up and then leave.
Yes.
So don't bet on me because I might not finish. I mean, you're okay, so you're on your Sunday.
Got that much money? You put a hospital on site. Get her there.
It's Sunday. You're 2 shots clear on Sunday on the 14th, and your wife goes into labour.
You wouldn't find out at that point. You wouldn't find out at that. Once you're on the golf course for Sunday, you wouldn't.
You'd be a brave caddy to tell him at that point.
But it's one of those, isn't it? There's quite a few stories down the years of children being born and then, players then going on to win majors straight away, or mentors die, like quite big life events, changing the way.
Crenshaw, isn't it?
Yeah, Crenshaw with your man.
His coach, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Harvey Penick, wasn't it? Cool.
And is it caddy as well? Somebody's caddy?
Well, someone's caddy died, did they? And then they okay.
Yeah, like the caddy, only caddy they had or something.
Right.
Well, anyway, we're getting a little bit
sidetracked on stuff we don't really know. Good. So, right, let's go through our picks then, while we let anybody else's. By the way, we have already had Marcus's and John Bonner's picks in, so hence why Marcus hasn't put them in the comments yet, but he did pick those before play started. It can be confirmed. So if he doesn't put them in,
also saying that, so
are you going to read them out?
Ryan, do you want to read those out?
Yeah, I can read them out. So Marcus has gone for Casey, Cantlay, Answer, and Smith, all 25 points on each. And Jonathan Bonner is Day, Kuchar, Garcia, and Lowry.
I mean, they're all good players in that field, aren't they? At this point, so right, Adam.
It shows like how small the margins are on professional golf, because you're looking at somebody today who's gone like, I reckon he'll beat him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like the other person's like 4 up.
Yeah.
Like, all right, they won't then.
But
it's such small margins.
Well,
the 18 holes in Matchplay is just like such a sprint.
It's such a sprint. Yeah. You get off to a slow start. You have 3 or 4 bad holes, you know, in the first 5 or 6, and it's just gone, isn't it? Right, Ryan Rosansky is
you
in.
ready, Ryan?
Ryan Rosansky.
So Ryan Rosansky, 25 each.
Yeah.
You've got Webb Simpson, Ian Poulter, Sergio Garcia, Daniel Berger.
Now these are great picks. I would love to have seen those picks Tuesday night. Had Poulter and Garcia before they win their first matches.
Yeah.
But
now,
fair play, because we'll talk about your picks in a minute, Ryan. But yeah.
I'm frustrated to say the least.
Right, Adam, do you want to go first with your picks, please?
Yes, I can go first. So 25 on each, as always. So Paul Casey at 25 to 1, currently losing. Cameron Smith 35 to 1.
Who won?
Jason Day at 45, and Victor Perez at 125.
Very good. Very good. I shall go next while Ryan is still tapping away. So I went for three of the favourites and 1 outsider. So I've gone 30 on each of Bryson, JT and DJ, and then 10 on Jordan Spieth. Just hoping that 2 out of those 4 make it to the semis or the final. That's my game plan, and rather than worrying about getting out of the group like I do most weeks with just cut players, I thought I'd go for some favourites this week.
Yeah, we're not going to score. I mean, Adam's gone slightly sort of outside, but you know, Spieth is your highest odded player, like at 25 to 1. DeChambeau and Thomas are at 12, DJ at 14. So you know, it's not going to be very high scoring.
That's why I've lumped 30 on them, you see, so that I've got a chance then, haven't I? You know, that suddenly becomes 3.
You got one more, you ready?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
So James Wade is in.
James Wade. Oh, there he is. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, Sergio, Simpson, Smith, DJ. 25.
There's a lot of love for
Cameron Smith.
Simpson.
Cameron
Smith and Simpson today. Lots of love for Simpson.
He's just solid. He's just solid. He doesn't do that, does he?
He turned into such a good player. He's always been very, very good.
Yeah.
But I think since he's gone away, had to go away and get rid of the belly putter, come back, I think he's just
got better.
Stepped up a year, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Comparing to the person that roofed his 3-wood off the first tee at Glen Eagle, he's not the same player.
No, he's a lot more confident in his own skin now, isn't he? Right, Harrington, your picks are now on the screen. Talk us through them.
Okay, so I had a bit of a meltdown earlier in the fact that I thought I really want McIlroy to do well. I just want him to, you know, find a bit of form, because I felt like I'd pick him, and then I was like, oh, I'll have Poulter as well, because Poulter is such a great match play player. And then realised they were in the same group, and only one can get out of the group, and I didn't really want to shoot myself in the foot by definitely getting no points. So I went for McIlroy, and it hasn't started well for me. But I've got Thomas, DeChambeau, McIlroy, and Schauffele, 25 points on each, and they're all pretty low. They're all the favourite within their group. I was kind of hoping that it would go to form, should we say? But yeah, I'm kicking myself about the Poulter pick.
I just think I quite enjoyed that sentence. I really want Rory to do well, so I've picked him.
Yeah. Like,
have you not learned anything in the last 10 weeks? Don't pick the person you want to win.
Hang on, I've won 2. I've won twice.
Yes, but with your, if you bet with emotion, you won't win, and you'll be all disappointed. And there he goes, losing to Poulter. Oh.
When he hit it left and it bounced, when did someone swimming pool, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. that's a great feeling for all us amateurs. He found water on a golf course that hasn't got any.
Oh,
On a hole that hasn't got any.
There's plenty of water there.
There's plenty of water. No, on a hole. That's right. Yeah, the fifth. He hit it into someone's garden. Into this.
There's not many golf courses that have chlorinated water in play. I can think of one in Turkey, but other than that.
Yeah. What's he taking the drop onto like the sun lounger or something like that? Is that the drop zone?
He's got to go. Yeah, he's got to go onto the patio or something. Yeah.
Out of the martini glass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's all good. But
someone wasn't on there, Lilo.
The thing with it is because he lost to Poulter, and Poulter is the lowest ranked player in that group. There's every chance that he still gets out of the group if he wins the other matches, because Poulter might lose or halve another match, and that might be you don't have to win all your matches, to get out of the group. It does obviously helps massively if you do, but
I just thought about Ryder Cup, and you always look to Poulter for points, always.
Mm.
But then I was reading a bit about obviously Rory's been brilliant in Ryder Cup, so that but especially playing with Poulter.
Yeah.
When he plays with Poulter in the Ryder Cup, he played with him in 2012, I think 14 and 18. I can't.
Yeah, they played every time they played together.
They played together all the time, But so who is it? Is it Poulter that brings him up, or
yeah?
I don't know, but yeah,
It's interesting today. If you watch the match at any point, Poulter was obviously ahead, so he was striding out. He was on the green, and Rory's 30 yards back in the fairway, trying to slow Poulter down.
Really?
Because obviously Poulter's on a bit of a roll, so Rory's walking real slow in the fairway.
Mm.
I know he was hitting his second shot second, but it was one of those really taking his time to try and get there. Poulter's marching around the hole at obviously quite fast and brisk pace, and it's just interesting, those little nuances that actually if that was a stroke play event, they'd probably be having a chat and they'll be walking together or something like that.
Yeah.
There's four of them, whereas when there's two of them, you can dictate the pace and it.
And Poulter's definitely one for that, isn't he? He's definitely one for making sure that in match play he tries to get things on his terms.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's what makes him such a great match play player. He hasn't won a great deal over his career, but what he has won, he's very, very good at match play golf, because stroke play he can easily have a couple of bad holes, but that doesn't cost you too much in match play.
Yeah,
because he can also have a couple of great holes, and you're back in it so quickly.
Cool. So I'm just going to quickly. I've got the website up here
picks.
for. And I don't think there's any more picks at the moment. I'm just going to quickly go through the matches that are on the golf course at the moment, because Mackenzie Hughes is Dormy 3 up against Casey. I don't know if anyone's picked Casey. Tyrrell Hatton is 1 up through 15 against Matt Wallace. Garcia's 4 up through 14 against Westwood. Sanjay Im is 1 up against Russell Henley. Victor Perez is now back to all square through 12. DJ is now 1 up through 12. And Kevin Na and Robert McIntyre are all square through 11. Now, that means that the last match is on the 11th. The golf's not going to finish super late today, is it?
No.
It's interesting. I feel like it started super early.
You only need a couple of people to get an absolute kick in, and then there's a big gap in front of you, and you're playing 2 balls.
Off you go.
You can get round really quick.
So, yeah, it's going to be a couple of 3 early nights hopefully, and then 36 holes a day at the weekend is the plan. Obviously, that's what people want to do.
Yeah. Plan.
So we're waiting on I don't know if Ian Thompson's in the chat or Julian. Those are the only 2 of the regulars that we haven't seen.
Haven't seen either of those in the chat tonight. No, so that's fine. So if we're happy that we've got all our picks in at this point, I think it's now sort of, let's just have a few minutes chat about what we all want to do going forwards. So we've got obviously this week, and then there's one more week before the Masters, isn't there? We've got an event next week, and then we've got the Masters. And obviously we're going to run a big giveaway across all 4 majors in conjunction with these fantasy points to try and give something back, obviously, to you guys that do regularly participate and contribute to our lives, to everything that we do here on the channel. So we want to throw it open to you guys. What would you like to see different in this point scoring? So for example, personally, myself, and I think Ryan and Adam will definitely attest to this, we would like to see a win bonus to encourage you to pick someone that wins. However much that is up for discussion, or if it's an extra percentage of their points, I don't know. We can have that discussion. I also think personally there should be more step up from making the cut to the top 20, because there's obviously a big difference between finishing 21st in an event and then making the cut, shooting 7 over 7 over at the weekend, and still picking up the same amount of points.
Yeah, I think we need more. Yeah. We need more tiers.
Yeah, I think every 10.
We go down.
Yeah, every 10 works, doesn't it? Or 15, yeah. Whatever. Because I mean, correct if I'm wrong, Ryan. At this stage, with this way the spreadsheet is, it's just a case of changing some elements of the formula.
Yeah. So it's basically I've made a formula, and it doesn't matter how long the formula is. We can have almost an infinite amount of
permutations.
You can have, 100% for first, 99% for second, and so on and so forth. I mean, it's a lot to type out. But once I've got it done, then that's it, and it's just copy and paste. But yeah, I think we definitely need a bit more.
Scaling.
Like you say, you finish 21st. And you played pretty well, and you get the same as someone who's finished 56th, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not saying it. I'm not.
Really...
That's a personal one. I've had quite a few 21st and 23rds in the last few weeks, but yeah. So I think
you're not getting rewarded for it as much, are you?
I'm not moaning too
like
much.
Someone who finishes in the 40s.
Exactly. But I think if we kind of use, we've obviously got match play this week, which is completely separate, and it's going to be just interesting. Then we're going to have a week to potentially have a practice. Then I would suggest we reset the points for Masters Week, and then go from the Masters for the rest of the season with one system.
We're going to have a different league for the majors anyway, aren't we? So there'll be a majors league.
Yeah, so that.
But we'll have a reset. But there will be a majors league of 4 majors for the prize.
Yeah.
For our giveaway. But those points will also count to the, overall rest of the season thing. I mean, this fantasy thing was something I sort of dreamed up whilst driving the delivery van through the villages, going, let's do something to make it a bit more accountable than just saying, I think
pick one player exactly.
DJ's going to win this week.
And what's fun, the best bit for me about it is the King Kang, where that came out of. That's so much fun. We will always look for his name on the leaderboard now, won't we? And when Rod Pampling plays his next event in 6 months' time, it's
adds his comment.
Yeah.
Adds wants bonuses for all selected players missing the cut. Yeah.
But yeah, so is there any? I think in the chat people are agreeing with the win bonus. Yeah, no, and James Wade saying it's all a bit of fun. It is all a bit of fun, definitely. We just, as always, if you can make it more fun and just make it as good as possible, we're still learning on this. Are we 10 weeks into doing this, or 11 weeks into doing this? Yeah. So there's always going to be some things to change. And I think now is the time. We've got a nice nucleus of people that are commenting, that are engaging with this and making picks. Let's throw it out to you guys. So over the next couple of weeks, have a think about things that you might like. We'll come up with maybe a revised plan for next week. We can test it out for next week and then see where we go.
We come up with a bit of a blueprint just to tell everyone Victor Perez has just gone one up.
And
you're now so much happier because he was 125 to 1.
Yes, indeed.
But one match does not make a tournament.
No.
In this case,
For Rory's sake, I hope that's true.
Yeah.
What do we think to Rory's switch to Mr. Cowan anyway?
Do you think that's a comfort thing? Do you think that's sort of
I don't think. Apparently, he hasn't changed completely. Apparently, he's just gone there for another opinion.
Yeah.
But something's telling me this week, how Pete Cowan does his payment. So if you're in the top 10, he takes a percentage of your earnings.
Yeah.
Outside the top 10, he doesn't take anything.
Yeah.
If you leave, you then have to pay a retainer to leave, and you can't ever come back.
Okay. Fair enough.
So if you sign him up, you're with him for life.
Well, you're not.
If you're there, but then if you leave, say you wanted to go somewhere else, or you want to do it by yourself, then you say, right, I'm not going to see you anymore, and he goes, right, that's, I don't know, 100 grand for a random figure.
Yeah.
And by the way, once you've paid that 100 grand, that's it.
Not come back.
You ain't never coming back.
Oh, I see.
When
Not
you come
like.
back, you can't. No.
Yeah. I thought you meant like a monthly retainer, like every month he gets a bit of money, like.
No.
Most coaches would work. Obviously, would go that way. I know, like Butch Harmon is a percentage of win.
Yeah, Butch Harmon's just percentage of wins.
X amount per month, and then a bonus of a win.
I mean, this is a cheap deal for Rory at the moment, isn't he? Because he's really not not threatening top tens very much. So if he's not getting paid for, I know he is.
Have you seen his earnings this year? Oh
Yeah.
my god, 1% of that.
Yeah.
I know he is. I was just being because
He's got a new title, though, so that's going to make the whole difference. But
We all just think
still got the
Rory's-
price tag on.
we just think Rory's gonna just be, up the top. It's one of those. It was just one of those players, isn't he? World number one for quite a while after Tiger, and we all sort of thought that was going to be it. It was going to be Rory's going to, and then he just.
It was quite interesting with him today. He had that look when if you haven't seen it, like the 13th, he literally hit the tee shot through the back up against the stanchions, and then chipped it in the water, and then stood there, took his cap off, scratched the back of his head, and looked like he could have gone ballistic at that point. Sort of moped across, took a drop, chipped it up, like missed it, and he had that look of it, just like, I just don't know where it's going.
I don't want to be here.
And we've all had that feeling.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it was quite nice that in Matchplay, if that was like a straight play event, they'd probably cut somebody else. Because it was a featured group quite early on.
Yeah.
It was like, it's hard to watch somebody go through that, but we can also relate to it and think, like, I've had that feeling where you just think, like, like my arms aren't even connected to my body today. I just don't know where it's starting, what it's doing, where it's going. But it's not nice to see him go through it, but it is nice and refreshing to actually to know that he's that good and he still feels that way about golf at times.
And he said he needs a spark, doesn't he? He needs something. He needs a bit of fire in his belly again, something to, get that the juices flowing again. And it still doesn't seem like he's found that. Like that scratch in the head of what am I doing? Why can I not do this? He was world number one for quite a serious amount of time.
Yeah.
He's not a rubbish golfer. You don't become rubbish overnight.
No, but the difference is so minimal, isn't it? You have maybe a slight technical flaw combined with a big loss of confidence, and everybody else is going the other way, and every year there's another 50 players coming through that want it more or want it as much and have worked so super hard for 15 years to get there. It's difficult. Glenn, yes, I was going to come back to your comments about the money list. I'm not sure how that would work. I don't know if you're seeing this, Ryan, but
so they do it on the European tour. You get the amount of points that they would earn in money. So obviously at the end of each week you get a breakdown of like first prize has got 2.7 million, whatever, and then it goes down from there. They then break that down obviously to 70th place, and whoever's made the cut, and then you get the points off of that, which is the way they do it. But obviously that wouldn't then work against the betting.
No, it's one or the other, isn't it?
We didn't have to do that. You could then just pick 4 players.
I like the betting though, because that makes it the whole. Because otherwise you would pick.
You just pick the top 4.
You wouldn't have picked Koepka, would you?
No.
You wouldn't have picked King Kang and all of those. So sort of have that thing.
That's for me the one flaw with the European Tour betting is that fantasy is that it's just about picking the 6 best players really that are in the betting. You pick the best players.
I never got that. You don't get it like football. You don't get like a
exactly
amount you have to spend
Yeah.
So
That would be the ultimate to do, wouldn't it? To have an amount to spend, which is kind of what we've got, and you've just got to decide how you distribute those 100 points.
But the problem is with golf, especially, the field changes so much. Because I did think about that. I had to think about going, okay, so let's look at the world rankings and go.
Yeah. Pick a squad.
DJ's obviously number one, so he's going to be the most expensive. But it changed, like with all fantasy. I've done quite a bit of reading and research into trying to make a fantasy app or something. It's good. It's way more than my brain can manage at the moment. But it's constantly changing, so players' values also fluctuate. So it would be something that's very, very difficult to maintain at this sort of level. Whereas what we have at the moment is all of the information is done for us by the betting company.
Exactly, they're doing the work.
They're doing the work, and we're just nicking it.
Yeah.
But you're right in the fact that we do need a bit more. We need a wider scale of points for the performance.
Yeah. So the other question I do we do flat? And I don't know the right answer to this. This is just off the top of my head. Do we do a flat minus for missing the cut, or do you get a percentage of the bet? So if Koepka misses the cut at 750 to 1, I think I should get a different amount of points off than if DJ or Rory misses the cut.
If you miss the cut, what would we do?
Sorry, but Tyrrell Hatton has just tomahawked his iron into the floor. That's superb.
Has he?
I love that.
Get in the floor.
He loves the chant there, doesn't he? Brilliant.
Yeah. But he needs, we've said this before, he needs it, doesn't he? You've got to let it out.
Yeah.
Let it all hang out. So, good on him.
James Wade's put in here, just wondering if the Masters would be the rebirth of Rory. Don't know why, I just got a feeling something's about to happen with him. So, yeah, it could be like, he obviously loves the golf course. Hopefully, a different set of eyes alongside long-time coaches. It's one of those things like, what have you been doing? Like, I think from what they're saying, they're going to talk through it together. Be interesting to go at it in that regard. Sometimes it's good, like, have that fresh set of eyes in it. Rory might then think like he preferred it, the information the other way round, and like it's just don't know. You don't know what it would kickstart, but hopefully it kickstarts something, because he needs to be playing very, very well by September.
Yes, he does.
I don't really care what he wins all year.
No,
he just needs to win the Ryder Cup.
Well, that would be, it would be amazing if we did win the Ryder Cup. We're all just living in hope with Rory, aren't we? We just hope that he does get back to form. There are so many players down the years that have won. I don't know how many majors Rory's won. 2, 3, 4? 4. So that's that's probably more than the people I'm going to talk about in a second. But there's a long list of pros that have had a really stellar career for a few years. Lots been hoped of them, and then they've just never really fulfilled it. And we just all hope that isn't going to be him, and that he will come back. But there's no guarantees that he wins again. There's no guarantee that he wins another major. But golf does give you that opportunity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He has won, 4 majors, US Open,
2 PGAs in US.
US Open, PGA, and the Open,
Yeah, because just these Masters for the Slams.
He last won a major
14, 15?
2014.
Yeah.
PGA Championship in 2014. So he had...
He won 4 very quickly and then hasn't won any since. Bit like Spieth.
So, US Open in 2011,
Yeah.
PGA Championship in 2012, and then the Open and the PGA again in 2014.
Yeah.
We are now in 2021. Okay, so...
And the problem is we're still talking about him as a young up and coming, emerging talent.
31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
31 years old. He has 27 wins, 18 PGA Tour wins.
So Ryan Rosansky in the chat is saying, sorry, Ryan in the chat is saying about reverse weighting for the favourites missing the cut. It's an interesting one, that, isn't it? Because would that make you want to pick the lesser players even more? Because you get more bonus points if they make the cut, and you don't lose as much if they miss the cut.
Just.
If you're going to get a win bonus, they're less likely to get a win bonus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They are less likely to get a win. You just got. I think the whole point to all of this is that the win bonus has got to be a decent amount to entice us all to pick somebody that we think might win, and then it's scaled down, possibly scaled down quite dramatically out, maybe outside the top 10, but then all the way down to 60 or whatever it is. Yeah, definitely just throwing ideas out there, Ryan. That's perfect. That's what we want.
Okay, so James is saying, do you think Tony Finau will ever win? Although he's got one win, but he thinks that the loss to Homer in the playoff has affected him in a big way. I've seen a little slump in form, but obviously he was in quite a good chunk of form before that. It's one of those.
It's
hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he will win tournaments again. Definitely. He's too good not to. It's just.
Marcus is saying Hatton will be in good form for the Ryder Cup. I don't think he'll win the Masters, even though I'd love him to.
It would be awesome if he won the Masters. I can see him with the green jacket on. Yeah, see Hatton with the green jacket. That would be cool. It's just,
angry red face with a green jacket.
At the end of a long, tough
angry
week.
At the shade of it or something.
Yeah. It's it's just again I just get so excited just when the Masters is coming up. Just I know it's it's still a few weeks away, but it's going to be so good again. Such a great tournament.
Yeah, the course next week, fellas.
Yeah, some of us have got tea time booked.
Yeah, we have.
So.
Okay, so quickly.
Yeah.
It's very, very easy to do a minus percentage of if you missed the cut. So, for example, if Koepka missed the cut last week, you do minus 10%, so you lose 750 points.
Yeah.
But if
DJ missed the cut,
he was fairly. I had. Who was fairly low? Lowry was 25 to 1, should we say? If he misses the cut, you only lose 62 points.
But is that the right way around? I don't know. I don't know. Yes and no, because that's the risk that you take for picking an outsider. That if they miss the cut, you lose more points.
It's the risk reward, isn't it? How is that? It's no different to laying up or going for the green over water. The reward is you get it on the green, and you have an eagle putt, for example, or or you end up in the water and you end up with a bogey.
I can't see Scott Harrington getting picked at 1,000 to 1 if we go with that minus system. But is that a good thing? Is that a good thing? Although he did make the cut, so
he made the cut. So it's an absolute risk reward. And,
yeah, maybe
if you're willing to risk on an outsider, you are heavily rewarded. I don't know. I mean,
what do we think in the chat, everyone? What do we think of that idea of having minus points based on your 10% of your players' odds, for example, and then obviously if you pick an outsider and they miss the cut, you lose more points? Or do you want it just to be a flat figure, and is 50 points a flat enough figure? Or would you want it to be more, 100 points potentially? I don't know. Because we just plucked 50 out of the air because we didn't really know what we were.
I didn't anticipate after 10 weeks someone having 15,000 points. If I'm honest, because we weren't very good at picking winners, and I just thought, we won't get that many points. But Marcus seems to have worked it out.
That's the trend, yeah.
I think it's about that. Marcus and I had quite a long chat about this on yesterday. That he's been picking players in that kind of 70 to 1 to 20 to 1 type bracket that are likely to make the cut, and then, you know, if they then go on and get those top echelon of places, then you score more points. Saying flat 500 win bonus, 200 minus miss the cut. So make it more about making the cut.
Yeah, no, I agree. It should be plenty on you making the cut, but gambling on a you know, an outsider. I mean, one of looking through the sheet, one of Marcus's best wins was when he picked Smith, and he put 50 points on him, and he was 80 to 1, and he came fourth.
Yeah.
And he had 3,000 points on that.
Yeah.
You know,
that was the week Homer one, wasn't it?
I don't have that. Yes, it was.
Because I picked Homer.
Picked Homer.
Yeah.
Oh, you picked Homer. Yeah. So, you know, that's a great result, but you know, an 80 to 1 outsider's to come fourth is like, that's just golf.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of this. The boys are saying here maybe about a multiplier. If more than one of your players, you know, maybe it's 100 points if a player misses the cut, and then 300 points if two miss the cut, and so so it multiplies up.
Well, there's a formula that I need to work out then.
And then it's like, it's harsh with that. Well, I say hard. It's one of those, isn't it? Like the week before last, I had all 4 that missed the cut, and 3 of them better than 50 to 1. So it's like,
that's such a should you be punished for an aberration week like that? I don't know.
one of those.
Yeah, you had. I mean, Webb Simpson 22 to 1 misses cut. Like,
oh, it was a player.
That's poor for him.
Yeah, but it was that players. It was those people that went out early on that first day, just couldn't recover because the weather was so. And they just didn't play. You know, just couldn't recover from being so many over par.
No.
Interesting.
I mean, I think you get punished enough for missing the cut as it is, regardless of what number we put on missing the cut, how we work that out. You get punished for missing the cut. I don't think you should get punished because you pick 4 people that have all had a bad day.
Yeah, I just think that it's let's make it. If we're saying that 4 is the maximum number of players we can pick, let's pick a number for the missed cut that if someone does miss all 4 players, they get, you know, let's say what do we think the biggest minus should be, is what I'm trying to say. So should 400 points be the biggest minus that anyone ever receives in a given week, and then you do 100 per player? Or should it be 300, or should it be 600? Do you know what I mean? So it's always a flat per person that misses the cut, but it never gets more than whatever we decided, obviously. See what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it never gets more than 200 at the moment. 200 is your max.
Yeah.
You can't lose any more than 200 points a week. So it's whether you do that, whether you do a percentage. I don't mind. I don't mind either way. I'm quite happy. That's. I feel like you need to be rewarded for having a bit of a punt, like Marcus was. He had a punt on Smith at 80 to 1. You know, and with a lot of points, 50 points, and it came off. I just like, how do you get punished if that doesn't happen? And I think a percentage is a better way to do that. Yes, it'll make you pick maybe slightly more in the middle, and we won't have our King Kangs as much, and your CT Pans, and your...
CT Pan, don't get me started on CT Pan. God, misses the cut when I pick him. A week later finishes 3rd or something. More points need to be on the winner. It's a bit unfair. I completely agree, Ryan. I completely agree with that. You should. We missed the trick there on not doing a win bonus. Definitely missed the trick there. But again, until we started playing it, we didn't really, because if you look back on those first few weeks, we were picking more of the favourites. Then it wasn't until we were like, oh, well, that person got me quite a lot of points just for making the cut. Oh, well, I'll go a bit more outsider.
Yeah.
Oh.
Want some new irons, looking for forgiveness. Wilson, Staff, D, Personally, I haven't hit them. They are making some great kit at the minute. At a really good price point. Their new driver out looks really, really good. So yeah, definitely, if that's something that you're looking at and it fits the budget, then obviously go down, have a test of them when you can.
Yeah.
Get some numbers and obviously get fitted for them that way. Or if you're buying them second hand, sort of try and get them as close to the spec as you think you need, and then obviously
get them tweaked.
One of your PGA pros can get them tweaked for you in that regard, get them as close to the standards.
Yeah, we used to stock Wilson, and yeah, I mean, obviously going back to the kind of C200, C300 days, so probably 5 or 6 years ago now. But yeah, like you said, and they've always made decent kit. It's always at a decent price point. And yeah, I mean, if they do custom fitting availability, you know, they will custom build clubs. So if you can get them custom built, they won't cost you any more, you know, to go to a golf club. You know, unless you're looking at second hand, obviously. About 460, which I thought was very good. Yes,
I think that's what James is saying. So they're about 460. How many irons was that? Was that like 4 to pitching wedge, or
possibly that
5
sort of thing?
wedge?
Possibly, I would say. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, you're probably looking at 6 clubs there. It's decent price, isn't it? 6 or 7 clubs. It's a good price. So, yeah, very good. Bonus points for player over 50. Yeah, bonus point for player over 50 who finishes top 50 to 1, finishes top 5. It's as Ryan Rosansky said earlier in the chat, which I must have missed. Whatever's easiest for you in the spreadsheet department as well, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. I mean, let's be fair. Before all this started, I had no idea how to write a formula as long as this. I wonder if I can put it in the chat. I wonder if it will copy in. So this is, if I can do it, I don't know if it will. No, that's a joke. There you go. That is one of the formulas that goes in the chat. So I didn't know any of what that meant before this started, which is fine. So it just means I need to learn how to do it, and it took a lot of trial and error just to learn that.
Cool. That shows how long it takes to come through, because that hasn't come through on my screen yet.
Oh, is it not?
It just shows how much the delay actually is between what we do and what the guys see in the chat.
What the guys see, yeah.
So
anyway, well, so when that pops up, hopefully you'll see it, guys. But it doesn't mean that it can't happen. It just means it's something I just need to learn. Bonus points for over 50.
Difficult for you to.
I mean, actually, I'm even thinking about it now. Yes, I can do that.
Why doesn't it just bracket down in percentages like you've done this week with Matchplay?
Yeah, I think so.
Needs to bracket down
all the way down to the cut.
So, winner, top 5, top 10, top 20, top 30, top 40, top 50, top 60, top 70. Done.
Yeah, and then whatever misses, wherever the cut becomes wherever you change that.
Normally top
point.
17 ties.
Yeah.
Is that the norm? Is it? Because that was one of the biggest issues I had.
In a full field event. Yeah.
It's top 17 ties.
Normally, yeah.
But you're never going to put because you physically write in the position in a box, don't you?
Yeah.
Then you're never going to write more than 70 in that, are you? Do you know what I mean?
No. So if they miss the cut, they get an MC.
Yeah, and that drops to minus 50.
And then and that works out at minus 50. And then any other thing, obviously any number, it works out what the number is in relation to the formula, and it works out the points from there.
So I reckon we go minus 100 for a miscut to make that be a bit more risky more of a stinger if you miss the cut. So just a flat minus 100. And what do you reckon, 500 or 750 for a bonus points for the winning, or 1,000? I don't know. What you know?
Put it this way: how many people have picked a winner? Not many.
Not many, because there hasn't been a bonus for it.
No, No, but we still. I think you still want to pick. Oh well, I don't know. I've still.
You wouldn't go into something like Simon always tends to pick like two real randomers just because he knows they're going to get more points for making the cut than he can actually get for winning.
Yeah.
There's no point picking John. There's no point picking DJ to win Augusta.
No.
Because he's going to be like 10-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's right.
You're going to need to put all 100 on him at that point, and then.
And even then, you're only going to get 1,000 points if he does win.
Yeah.
So I think it needs to be.
Larry Myers makes the cut. He's right in there.
Yeah, oh God, imagine that. I'll be on Fred Couples every week, wouldn't I? So we've got 1,500, 750 in terms of the bonuses, and Ryan Rosansky saying that looks good. I agree with you, Ryan. I reckon it should feed top 5 should feed down. Then there should be a split for top 10, top 20, top 30, top 40. Yeah, and then flat points for 50 and below. I like that because that means it's easy enough for you, Ryan, doesn't it? You've got to finish in the top 50 to get past the 10%. So then it doesn't matter if 55 people make the cut or 75 people make the cut.
So you're saying flat points from 50 and below. So from 50 and below, what do you get? 50 points?
10%. No, 10%.
Oh, 10%.
And then it scales up.
They do that in a WGC event as well, because it'll be 64 players, but it still won't. You still get the same amount of points.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too difficult to change. Now that I've learned it, it wasn't too difficult to change the formula for this week. It was relatively easy. I say relatively easy.
700 but Marcus gets nothing. Yeah, I like that. And then so I reckon top 5. So 100% for the winner, and the bonus. So 100 and a bonus. Then you maybe go 95, 90, 85, 80, 75 for the top 5. 95, 90, 85, 80 for the top 5. 75 points for the top 10. 60% for top 20, 50% for top 30, 40% for top 40, and then, or maybe even scale it down more than that. Maybe go down in 15s or something.
I think 1,000 points is a good bonus because I've just done
he's gone.
Adam's died. I tell you what, his camera's died, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only a battery.
So when JT won.
Yeah.
He was 18-1. I put 25 points on him.
Yeah.
I got 450 points for him winning.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I do double, I only get 900 points for him winning.
Yeah.
You know, I still don't get a lot of points for him winning. Whereas I get 1450 because I get my 450 plus 1,000 points.
Yeah.
Which is a good amount, which is great. But I've picked 2 winners. You had one. Someone had one of our viewers had a winner.
Ryan Rosansky said he had one early.
Yeah. So I think yes, you're right. It would give people more. I think a good number. 1,000, I think, is a nice round number. Everyone likes round numbers. 1,000 points is a solid number to win a tournament.
Yeah.
Plus whatever your percentage is. Plus, you don't just get 1,000 end of. So if, for example, Kang did win, then you're getting 4,000 points. It doesn't matter, does it?
No.
It helps you when you pick JT or DJ or someone who's 10, 12, 14, 16 to 1, getting decent points for them winning.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think 1,000 is strong. It's easily done. And then we just create a few more bands, so the lower down get less, and the higher up you get a little bit more. You get a bit more rewarded for your players actually performing better. Yeah,
I like that. I think that works well.
Good.
Groovy.
Fabulous. We will test it next week with a whole new plan, and I will do you a lovely
graphic.
Graphic, so you can all understand this one as well.
Yeah, and then we can try and have a bit of a practice week next week, and then go for it from the Masters. Like it. No, I don't think anyone was writing it down right. but we'll get back to it. I don't think we'll forget that. Marcus did know Ryan did know who JT was. Yes, I reckon he did, because he's picked him for ever since we started doing the preview show with Ryan. He's always picked JT. Yeah.
I love JT. I think, and we've all got our favourites. And do you know what? It's the first time I picked Bryson, and it hurt me to do so.
Well, it didn't, because he lost his first match, didn't he?
I know.
And then Anton Rosner has gone and poured cold water all over that.
Exactly. Oh, Perez is one up. Good.
Yeah.
And then DJ's not. He's gone back to all square. Oh my goodness. Crikey. Excellent. Right, I think
he's gonna burst in a minute.
Is he going to explode?
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. He's still winning, but he's gonna punch someone.
I love his passion. I love his passion on the golf course, and I think that man should constantly be mic'd up.
No, you couldn't air it.
Oh my God, the most fined person on the PGA Tour.
Oh, I don't care. I love it.
It's after, as long as it's after 9 p.m, it's fine. Getting past the watershed.
We all like a little bit of swearing here and there.
I quite agree.
He needs it. He definitely needs it.
I am testament to that.
There'll be quite a few swear words next Wednesday at 7:45 a.m. when we're 3 shells down and we're halfway up the first hole.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Here's an exciting thing. I don't know whether any of you guys at home want to do this. Titleist are doing a free virtual ball fitting.
Yes.
I've got mine tomorrow. It's a Zoom call, and you speak with a Titleist pro, and you talk through how your game and what you're after, and they will suggest or recommend a ball for you to play.
Yeah.
And on the back of Simon's just done a big video about the new Pro V1X range that they have launched this season.
Mm-hmm.
I will check with them whether he's happy for me to record our Zoom call, and then it'll be an easy send that one out onto the YouTube, and hopefully you guys can watch it and get involved as well. So it's just on the Titleist website. You can sign up. It's free.
Yeah, do it.
And you're not obliged to buy the balls afterwards or whatever. They just say this is what we recommend you play.
Yeah, it is cool. That's exactly how mine started. They offered it up a few weeks ago. That's what I signed up for. And then when we got on the Zoom call, we decided that let's talk more about the new ball rather than talking about any fitting for me. And yeah, they'll be fine to record it, Ryan. They'll be absolutely fine to, I'm sure. So it'll be really interesting to see how that comes out with you. You've obviously got your data, haven't you, from your spin numbers and stuff from your driver.
I've got some data.
So that'll be interesting to discuss through that.
Pro V1Xs sitting in the garage.
So hopefully it comes back with those.
Pro V1Xs. So let's hope that it all comes out Pro V1X. Yeah. So they are slightly different to this year's Pro V1X, as I discovered from your call. But yeah, I'm looking forward to taking a fresh ball out of the sleeve next Wednesday.
Yes, and that chat will be interesting. It'll be interesting to watch, guys. I think that pretty much wraps us up for this week. As always, thank you very much for sitting down and chewing the fat with us for an hour on a Wednesday evening.
Just quickly, Ryan's actually just saying what ball you currently use.
Pro V1X. Your normal Pro V1, Adam, aren't you?
Yes, Stan.
I am an X or Pro Plus. I have a look at my Pro Plus versus Pro V1X video that I did before. I found them relatively similar at my level. I didn't really find the data sort of matched that up. They weren't too dissimilar. For build quality wise, the Pro V1 knocks it hands down. But I don't often have a ball long enough to actually
worry about that.
Go through the cover. It's usually gone way before that happens. So price wise, it did work out a lot better for me. But it's definitely something you should check out. If you go through balls quite a bit, then it's a good quality ball at a better price.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good ball.
So,
Yeah, they've done good things, Vice. A good business model for selling golf balls, different obviously to the normal model, but yeah, it's all good. Brilliant. Right, guys, thank you all very much for joining in. Go and watch the last few holes of the golf. Hopefully all your picks do really, really well, except for Marcus's. And he's gone, so I'm quite happily say that now. And we'll see you when we see you.
Fabulous. Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
See you
guys.
next week.
Bye.